Alright, let me quickly check if we are live. We should be live. Looks like we are live. And I'm gonna share this stream in the Discord. There we go. Alright. That's that. All set up. I have to do one more thing. Okay. There we go. I didn't make a video about the Nasdaq today just because I knew I was gonna live stream and I didn't think it was that relevant to make a video today, and I just wanted to cover everything in a live stream. Tomorrow there is not gonna be a live stream though, then I'm just gonna make a video because I'm gone in the afternoon when I would normally start a live stream. And maybe I can sneak in a quick little 30-minute live stream, but well, we will have to see. But in any instance, I'm gonna make a video either way. So let's get into the analysis of today, because since yesterday we broke above this breaker block. As I said, if we're not gonna reject from this and we're gonna gain this breaker block, it is pretty likely we can use it as support after. Well, we can see that after we managed to gain this breaker block, we used it as support and we tried to continue our buy model. Our high time frame buy model is this, with our technical target being this previous week high, and our lower time frame buy model right here was this one. Well, with AM of course we smashed it, and right now we are buying towards this high. So our target is still this high. But as we can see, in London we tried to take out this high, we rejected this high, made an SMT, and from there we have just been coming down with lower highs and lower lows. So it is down until proven otherwise, and I was looking to short towards at least the London low and even towards this low, because the London low, it is just a session low, but in this case it wasn't a really strong liquidity point. This low was, however. So I was looking towards this low. Because of this rejection and the SMT with the AM high, and what we did locally after we had this local break of structure. It is 1 minute, but it's still a break of structure. We never gained any highs again. We also lost this this whole block on the higher time frame, so just more bearish than bullish. Then we were in this consolidation. A consolidation most of the times is really great for me, because I trade most of the times based on consolidations or ranges, whatever, just some retail pennants that we can abuse to look for an entry. And that is by the way of a manipulation. Well, right here we can see we have a clear manipulation of this whole range from all the people that started buying, because we haven't taken out London low yet, and the only thing they see is this up move. then they expect that we're gonna put in a higher low and then a new higher high. But of course we know better, so we're just waiting to liquidate all those buyers and all the early sellers that try to sell in all these moves. Because of course you're gonna get a lot of sellers in moves like this, so you're gonna collect a lot of liquidity on the highs. But we never got any confirmation anywhere to take short entry, and when we got a nice liquidity hunt, we never got a value gap to use or a breaker block that we could use to take an entry. It was just straight candles down, and from there we have been taking out lows. And right now, with our first target to be hit, we are recovering a bit. This doesn't say anything, it doesn't mean we can bump up towards highs again. No, definitely not. We can still target all those other build-up lows right here, because of course this is just all trend liquidity. But for that we'll have to wait. If the market is gonna come up, then we'll react to that. If we're gonna leave open this low right now, indicating that we are ready to target new highs again, sure, then I'm gonna look for buys. But right now, down until proven otherwise, and maybe we need to target these lows before we can take out the AM high and of course the previous week high, which is why we are struggling right here, because it is a lot of liquidity to take out. So not gonna make it more difficult than that, down until proven otherwise, and that is also why I didn't make a video, because yeah, that's pretty much it, and it would be a 2-minute video. So on the 1 hour, it looks like we're gonna close below this 1 hour value gap. We tried holding, and that tried to bring us towards a new high as well. When we're gonna close below this, there are also more confluence. We can maybe target all these lows over here, but we also have another 1 hour value gap right here that we held as support once, in combination with this low. So this can also bring us higher again if this was enough for the market. So just have to have a close look on what is gonna happen here, and watch the local price action for more confirmations. This could turn into a buy model, of course, with your technical target. Oops, wrong tool. With your technical target being here, and if we're gonna break above this, it's highly likely we can target the AM high and move from there. We have no news today, and we didn't have any news yesterday, so London and after London and pre-New York is just gonna be a bit less volatile than it normally would be, and we can expect the volatility in New York. If you're gonna look at the volume as well, you can, well, this is just an exception. That doesn't really matter, no. Let's get rid of this, it's not relevant anymore. I want to look at what MicroStrategies did yesterday, because we talked about it, of course. Okay. We got a reaction up from the PY zone. Not gonna get into the whole higher time frame picture once again. I explained it once before in the stream of yesterday, so if you're curious about what I talked about with MicroStrategies, watch the stream back, and otherwise try to understand this picture. Let me also put in this right here. Then I want to zoom in again. This is still your mid-time frame high to gain. It brought you towards a new low, so if we're gonna gain this high, we can maybe trade towards this high, and if we're gonna trade above this high, you can maybe trade towards that high. But until then, MicroStrategies is still down until proven otherwise, and it's looking for probably more liquidity to finally continue towards new highs and maybe even all-time highs. But it is way too early to talk about it right now. It's just still down until proven otherwise. Right now it looks like we are getting in a bit of a compression right here. And we are building up liquidity on both sides. So it can also mean MicroStrategy is gonna take out this liquidity right here, tap it to the supply, target the lows, and just continue the down move right here. This reaction from this demand is pretty logical, because if you look at the arrow, it is such a strong level in combination with this nice demand. Of course, there is gonna be a reaction from a place like that. But we can't get too bullish too soon until we have some confirmations with a gain of this high, for instance. Microsoft was also getting interesting. Talked about this yesterday as well. If you see the arrows, let me quickly get rid of this because that is just an XPY zones. If you see the arrows and you were at the stream of yesterday, you know I explained that this could be market maker involvement and that they are ready and filling up their orders to maybe go towards new all-time highs for Microsoft again. It is in a nice demand zone, so that is an extra confluence, and we took out pretty much all our extreme liquidity of all the trend liquidity we built up towards new all-time highs. I pointed out this lower time frame high to gain. We managed to gain this high. What could this mean? This means our lower time frame structure now has switched from bearish to bullish. And in bullish structure, we of course expect higher lows and higher highs. With this, we can maybe trade towards our higher time frame high to gain. And then we can maybe manage to gain this high, and then on the higher time frame expect new bullish price action to take out the all-time high, maybe. So right now we have a lower time frame confluence to look towards the upside again. And we are holding support on the most aggressive way we can on this breaker block. And as you can see on the pre-open, it is also already higher. So if we're gonna break above this high, we have a confirmed higher low, and we can expect a new higher low and higher high. Of course, this is a lower time frame and internal structure, but it can bring us towards this high time frame high to break. So we're getting some bullish signals on Microsoft here. Let's quickly switch back to Nasdaq because macro is about to start, and maybe we can find something to take an entry on. Probably not. Pretty strong recovery from this low. It is not an SMT, I believe. No, definitely not. The reaction is, I think, combined of this low and of course this fair value gap. Even though we already used it, it is still a point of support for the market, of course. We'll have to wait for confirmations if we're gonna recover here with the buy model towards new highs. If anyone in the stream right now has a chart request, feel free to drop them in the chat. That way we're gonna get into the algorithms a bit more, and we can spar about the market together. Also curious if the market is gonna manage to close in this 1 hour value gap again, or if we're gonna close it. Because if we're gonna inverse this, maybe we can get a continuation with a tap into the inverse value gap, and from there look for more bearish price action. have to watch this as well. First rejection zone. Last place where buyers tried to push price up before we're gonna close below this low. Didn't happen. Sellers took over, obviously. So this is your first resistance point for Nasdaq. It is also gonna get way more bullish if you are gonna manage to gain this. And then yeah, then it's just really strong, and this is probably indicating us that we are getting in a buy model. A couple of reasons why this low would have been enough for Nasdaq. If you look at, of course, it is all build up liquidity, so all the people that were longing in this move are gonna put their stop losses below these lows. But at the last two lows we put in, except from this one, so before this one, the last two lows we put in were both manipulation lows. And why is that? If you look at PM, lower time frame. If we're gonna look at PM, lunch was down. PM in first instance was down as well. Took out AM low. A lot of people are gonna start buying because of that. We also managed to trade above this high. Breakout traders, etc. are gonna get in. So a lot of buyers stepped in here. Put their stop loss below here. What happens? The market aggressively turns the other way, takes out the early buyers, and from there starts the up move. Once again, what happens before Asia opens? This is your low to hold / protect. A lot of buyers are gonna step in here, especially in this move, because it is your higher low and it is the move that brought you above this PM high. So a lot of buyers are gonna step in here. What did Asia do? Asia took out all those early buyers, and from there continued to up move again. So these two lows are both manipulation lows, and that can be the reason why the market is pumping up from this low and doesn't need more liquidity from all these lows here. And pretty much the same with this move, of course. All the people that started buying in this leg are now liquidated. A lot of stop losses collected here and here. So of course we have been taking out nice local build-up liquidity. Okay, this is so strong. Wow, what a volume as well. Great recovery. No short entry, no long triggers, so right now it looks like we're just gonna effortlessly gonna gain this this supply, turning it into a breaker block. Maybe we can no. Let's quickly switch to the Bitcoin chart. Also get some crypto in here. Talked about Bitcoin yesterday as well. Then it was at around, let me zoom in. Then we were just before touching this extreme supply of our range. Let's extend this one as well. We have two ranges right now. We have the mid time frame range from this low towards this high. We deviated the high once. And we also have this lower time frame range from this high and this low, because your local trend is up. That is why you draw it from top to bottom. When you draw your range from top to bottom, it mostly indicates that you want to look for shorts. And right here we can get this short entry in a couple of ways. We can get it with deviating the high once more, giving us a nice distribution indication. Let me draw this in better. With a break of structure, of course. Do something like this, come up, break of structure, in your new extreme supply or take out some internal liquidity, get your entry right here and target at least this low. But I think because then we have 3 deviations on our higher time frame range as well, we can target towards this low, because I don't believe, for right now of course, until we're gonna break this high, that this is a low Bitcoin is gonna leave behind before we can target all these highs towards the left. So if we're gonna do something like this, we could get a nice distribution towards all this local liquidity and maybe even this higher time frame range. Some Ethereum maybe. Big liquidity pool on the lows right here on Ethereum. Of course we are in a this is such a pump up. It is 2 quick impulses up, and because of that I don't think we are gonna lose these price levels really soon, because it is just quick pumps up, lots of order filling towards the upside, and it's just a quick sweep of the all-time high. I don't believe there's a way that they are already distributing at these highs and trying to bring price lower. For that, the market would have to need to spend some more time on these highs before I think we can go towards new lows again. Right here, it was looking like some nice market maker involvement at these lows. But when we traded away from this low, we didn't take out this liquidity. And when we front ran that liquidity, what happened? We came up, we tried to take out this high, we couldn't even take out that high. If we are really bullish and market makers are involved there should be no problems with taking out that high. From there, we almost put in a new low, we also couldn't take out the low. We tried once again, only took out this internal high and made equals with this high, and from there we came down once again. So what can happen on ETH right now? We could get some resistance from this larger supply zone. There's also a refined one here, and you can put in a third one right here. Just a lot of resistance right here, of course. I think we can get a move down from here towards these lows, and maybe right then we can look for longs on Ethereum with some local confirmations and target all these highs we have been building up. Let's quickly switch back to Nasdaq. Oh wow, yeah, that's a nice gain. I think we're either gonna close within this 1 hour for value gap, then that would be absolutely mental. Then it was a quick search and destroy if I've ever saw one. It was so obvious that we want to take out some liquidity from the lows. No entry, unfortunately, and right now the recovery is crazy. Probably gonna close within this 1 hour for value gap as well. Wow. Pretty much confirmed this buy model right now. So we can target this high, and if we're gonna gain this high, we can then target the AMI again. And from there we will have to see if we have enough fuel from the lows to target the previous week high again. Because we have failed twice already, right here and this morning with London, of course. So let's see if this was enough. Of course, this wasn't the only manipulation move. I said like 10 minutes ago, this here as well, and this one here as well. So it is definitely possible we can trade towards new highs again. Oh, long ago I looked at Tesla. I knew it was in a compression the last time. Not a really convincing break of this compression. High time frame, we are still expecting more upside from Tesla, of course. But we are building up so much liquidity on these lows. It is actually actually crazy. So this could be a distribution going if we're gonna leave open this high. It could mean with this extreme liquidity grab, the 3 taps on top, that Tesla is gonna distribute here. And that we're gonna need more liquidity from the lows until we can come up again. But for that we'll have to have some local confirmations, of course. Because otherwise it is still just up until proven otherwise. So not really the cleanest structure in here. Could say this is your low that brought you towards a new high. We close below this low. What can that mean? That this local price action switched bearish and you expect a lower high for a new lower low. But because on the higher time frame we are still down, it isn't the most convincing for me. Untested supply here? No, not really. Of course, just resistance. Yeah, we will have to get some more local confirmations with leaving open this high, and then an internal break or something like this. We are just a bit too bullish to have this play out. This is a recovery if I've ever seen one. Mental, mate, mental. If anyone right now has a chart request, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm ready for it. Okay then. Amazon is creeping towards new all-time highs. Nice. Could have taken a nice entry right here. go. Local confirmation. There you could have entered. Yep. Yeah, we're just holding our demands on Amazon, and as I said, creeping towards new all-time highs. If we're not gonna get a clear gain of this this liquidity sweep right here, it could mean we need some more liquidity from the lows. Where is that to be found? There's a lot of liquidity built up here. There's still an untouched demand below there. So if we're gonna reject from here on Amazon, it could mean we need some liquidity from the lows and then continue to move up. Then it's just doing what it has been doing the last couple of months already. Building up liquidity, taking out some liquidity, take out the liquidity that has been built up, look for support and a demand, continue to move. No confluences to short here as well. It's not always really nice to short if you're close to all-time highs because it can also just pump through. Yeah, Apple as expected. Some rejection from these equals, indicating we're probably gonna need some liquidity from the lows or look for support here to continue to move up. We just have to wait on Apple again. We have some POI zones in the chart, liquidity here, support here, really strong support zone here. Okay. Meta without really taking out any liquidity from the lows. Oh, this is a sweep, I see. Okay. That changes the story a bit. Because, yeah, it is also your higher time frame low to hold. So if you want to continue your trend, this arrow was your first hold. So then this is just a pretty normal market structure low we can put in right here. This can be your local confirmation. Yeah, highest time frame valid structure is the 4-hour. We broke above it. This can mean we can continue to move here. We already tapped into our support here. Yeah. Last place where the sellers tried to bring down price before taking out the high. Well, we didn't. Buys took over. This is your first support. So this could be your place to skill in from Meta to trade towards a new all-time high. We already tested this N-Dog as well. N-Walk even maybe? No, N-Dog. So yeah, we could just go higher from here on Meta. Hourly close is there, and it is within the fair value gap. Cool. It has to happen eventually. Test back your breaker, of course. Pretty much always happens. It is nice to put in new high lows at old highs, as you can see right here. Got some small internal manipulation here. All these buyers here have been taken out. Some small internal manipulation. You could get a trade here if you're gonna use this gap. Try to make a new low. Show you can't make a new low. Inverse the gap. Target this high. If we're gonna gain this in one go, there's not really any entry confirmations. Your stop loss is just way too big, of course. You would have to target this high to get some nice risk to reward. Oh, this is so long ago I looked at this chart. This was, yeah, wow. Nailed the bottom though. My god. Let me quickly look. What a volume confluence as well, damn. That high would have been your confirmation to look for an entry. Oh, on the open. Great entry. Right there. Yeah, the rest is history. But this dump, man. Oh my. Took out range high. Yo, Trader Cage, what's up, man? Great to see you take some time to join the stream. This is some panic selling if I've ever seen one. Wow. Completed your technical target over here at the range high. You can see some profit taking. Price continued. Took out pretty much all your extreme liquidity before you're gonna get into this stuff, whatever this is. And yeah, then that is it for this stock pretty much. People are gonna start selling. You can see price getting can you check Baba? Oh wow, that is an interesting request. Of course, man, I will check Baba in a second. You come down slowly. You can still, if you look at structure, expect a high low and a new higher high. But when price closed below here, people really started panic selling their positions. And then from there, big recovery again as well. What a price action, man. Was really interesting right here, but this is mental. Baba, that's a stock? I think so. Alibaba. Do they have a Nasdaq one? I think this one. Let me look up. What is this beat, by the way? Oh my, oh my, oh my. God damn. I know it is Baba, but what is their main stock exchange? I think it is the NYSE. Yeah, okay, you mean this one. How was the stream been going? Yeah, fine. Couple of people tuning in, not really a lot of interaction. A bit less viewers than yesterday, but still going over some charts, recapping and updating on what I looked at yesterday, talking about the Nasdaq a bit because I didn't make a video yesterday. I covered it in the live stream, covered Bitcoin, covered Ethereum, so pretty juicy live stream so far. Let's look at Baba. Nice. Last high that brought you towards a new low, managed to gain that. Yeah, great level from these old highs that I've been collecting here. Also over here, of course, and even over here. Did I tap into there? So there's still left open demand here. Some liquidity above it. So this is the level we held support on right now. From there we have been trending up again. So even though we left behind this demand and we created liquidity above the demand, it doesn't mean we're gonna take it out. We can of course just continue our trend and take out highs. Pre-open always also looking pretty bullish right here. Gain of your internal structure. Yeah, so resistance right here, you gained it. So it's gonna be your support. Could also mean we can look for an entry right here to continue. So this is interesting to watch. And otherwise I would look at this zone, even though it's really low. You can always trade towards there, of course. This is for now also your 3-day low to hold. Yeah. So if we can't take out this high today or this week and reject it, we can maybe look for an entry right here for the continuation up, or otherwise take out this liquidity and look for an entry in this demand. Oh yeah, this is also really nice. Almost didn't see it. I already thought it was almost too clean that we left open this low before we even gained this high. That doesn't happen for no reason. We didn't gain this high yet, but we're not taking out lows. So that is just order filling. Yeah, that is a really nice bottom right here. It's also, of course, why you got an aggressive reaction right here. Yeah, this is definitely the first place to look for local entries to continue your trend on Baba. Get rid of this one and add Baba. Oops. Great request there by Cage. Don't expect anything else from him, of course. Always great to see these kind of levels with all those interaction points right there. Of course, you can draw it in as a whole box, but oh, forgot to look at Nasdaq. What happened? Exactly what I said. Try to use the gap. It isn't as low as I would have needed it, but you try to use the gap in a bearish way, gained it, test back and up. What would be your play? Yeah, your stop loss just isn't the cleanest here. That is the whole problem. Can you put it here? Yes. You could even put it here if you've got balls, because this week tested away this bullish for value gap and your breakout candle is also above there. Some people just put their stop loss below breakout candles right here. I would have put it below here. Then your entry would have been fine. But not my way of taking trades. But always great to see price doing what we expected it to do. Almost forgot to look at the local picture of Baba to maybe get some confirmations. Some supply lying here. Combination with what is at the left. Yeah, we could definitely still reject from here and then look for some support for continuation right there. Great zone to watch this. Really great. Wow. Small short on Levi there, I see. Sweep of the bottom, gain of the drop off, and you can continue your trend. retest of your old high and continue up. Yeah, pretty simple but still clean. It's a great level on Levi. We tested back. Looks in the middle of nowhere, but it definitely is not. If you draw it from here, it's pretty clear. We already have been live for almost an hour. Well, time flies. Wow. We have gone over some charts, obviously, so time flies when you're having fun. Ooh, I want to look at Palantir. Haven't looked at this in a while. Oh, compression I see. Oh yeah, I shared this in the Discord. That is right. Yeah. Still in this compression. Damn. For how long now? Started compressing right here. 19 days already. Okay. Yeah. Just have to wait for a reaction from either side. Up until proven otherwise, of course. Already swept the bottom of this compression. Didn't break out really quickly from there. Got a reaction up though. Search and destroy right here. Could mean we can break out right here. This of course is a lot of resistance to get through. But we could definitely go up from here with the support we're holding right now on this level and the sweep of this liquidity right here. Oh my, this music sometimes. There we go. And this local compression, of course, could mean we can go up from here. Time will tell. Still not really any confirmation yet though. What a bottom of Ford. Gain and you can go. Ford is busy filling up this whole gap we left behind. Trying to trade towards all these highs right here to the left. We have put in a really nice bottom of Ford. And from there we have just been trending up. Of course, when you take out this liquidity right here, before you're gonna get into this gap, you have to cool down a bit. First hold. From there we have coming up again. Traded above the high again. Making this your new higher low. So this right now is your low to hold. So in between this high and this low you can look for a new higher low and a new higher high. stepped into it. This of course is just an interesting zone overall, the old high. Yeah, internally on this higher time frame up move, this is your low to hold. So we can expect a higher low in this move as well somewhere. Where is a nice place to do that? Well, pretty much where price is right now. At your old drop-off point right here. Looking for some support. Could just continue higher from here. Not really anything nice to work with on Ford right now. We already tested this. Yeah, I would wait for Ford to create something more in the range we could be creating right now. Once again, if someone has a chart request, feel free to drop them. I am gonna do max 1 or 2. If nobody drops in a chart, I'm gonna end the stream. Then I'm gonna head to the gym in a bit. Also needs to happen. Clear up the mind a bit. I've been in behind my computer for a lot of hours already, so nailed gold. Wow. Nailed it right here, nailed it right here, nailed it right here, and from there we've just been expanding like crazy. Yeah, right now you'll have to look at psychological levels. 3700 and stuff, levels like that. Just like right here in gold, you can see the old all-time high stopped at 35 on 500. Yeah, where are you gonna stop right here? Some people use fib levels. You can combine fib levels with round numbers like 3700. You will just have to see. For now, gold is just pumping, man. Just tapping away demands and continuing his move. Did we do an Nvidia? I don't know. I don't think so. Well, plan is still the same as yesterday. The only thing that changed yesterday is we got a move up. Still have to gain this high to maybe get a rotation towards these high on the left. And if not, we can go lower towards the old range high and this demand right here we left behind. Time will tell. Patience. Let's quickly peek at Bitcoin. Still have to wait here. Wait for the gain or wait for the liquidity sweep and the distribution towards the downside. Not that complicated really. Okay. Then this will be it for today. As I said, maybe I can squeeze in a short little live stream tomorrow. If not, there definitely is gonna be a video. So make sure to subscribe to the channel to be updated. And then I will see you all tomorrow again. Ciao.